I'm here in front of the new Meritor 14X tandem drive axle. Starting at the forward carrier, let's look at the interaxle differential. This is an area that gets a lot of abuse, a lot of wear. We made the pinions, the cross, the input shaft 20% larger than our current industry-leading 4145. Not only that, but we added more lubricant flow into the critical areas of the interaxle differential without having to spec a pump. This bell area right here of the interaxle differential, that is the case itself, a total redesign in North America. It holds 1 cup of lubricant at all times. The lubricant actually flows from the ring gear into a newly developed carrier case, into the rear side gear bearing, and forward into the IAD, giving a complete lube flow through the critical areas of the interaxle differential. We did all of that without adding weight to the carrier. The rear drive axle is of an amboid design. Look at a gear set, what we call a ring and pinion in a drive axle. There's 3 positions that ring gear can lay against the pinion. It can be below center line of the ring gear, above center line, or at center line. Hypoid, amboid, spiral bevel. This carrier is an amboid design. The advantage is it allows the input from the forward carrier to be at virtually the same level of the output of the forward carrier, making this drive line as horizontal as possible. By making this a straighter, more horizontal drive line, those vibrations are minimized. When you minimize the vibrations, you do 2 things. You do something for the driver and something for the fleet owner. The driver, he's more comfortable. He doesn't have the noise, the rattling in the gear shift, the vibration in his seat of his pants. As far as the fleet owner, the less vibration in the drivetrain, the less seal failure, bearing failure, gear failure, synchronizer failure, anywhere from the clutch all the way back to the rear drive axle. We were talking about the gear sets. Meritor has the widest range of ratios in the new 14X tandem axle set. 7.17 to 1 to 2.47 to 1. That's the widest ratio range of any manufacturer in North America. That offers flexibility, adaptability. What that means is we can fit a lot of different applications in the trucking industry with that wide ratio range. The fastest gear ratio in North America is in the 14X. What does that mean? Well, the faster the gear ratio, the lower the number, the less RPM that engine turns going down the interstate highway, the less fuel you burn, and that's more efficiency and more money in the fleet owner's pocket. We have an industry exclusive option on the new 14X. It's called dual track. It's an intermediate track. We went back and said, let's split the difference. Let's take a standard track, add 3 inches to it, 1.5 inches on each side, to accept the wide base single tires without any additional offset for stability, and only add 7 pounds between the standard and the dual track. Why? Because our dual track is 9.5 millimeters and can go up to 11 millimeters. So your standard track is 9.5, your intermediate track is 9.5, or up to 11 millimeter. Weight savings over going to a wide track. An industry exclusive for Meritor. Finally, an advanced breather system. Its purpose is to allow this axle to breathe when it heats up and cools down. Air expels and air is ingested. When it expels, sometimes lubricant is expelled. When air is drawn in, moisture is drawn in. We have found that this breather is now the benchmark in the industry. It does not expel lubricant in our testing, and the amount of moisture drawn in is extremely minimal. With that, we've covered the audience the benefits, and the 5 key features of the 14X.